that, Josh.
Oh.
Really low. With Blade will finish him off. He gets Seahawks over the wall with the broken wing. And now focus on Asta. Grand Challenge is up. Asta, will that last long? There's a flash from Excavate down. And now a continuous fails the Seoul University kills at the break. And here comes the fight. One time is on. Look at the stupidity and strategy on the center of the fight.
Flash away as Arc goes for the back line. Condenser standing on the left of that equalizer. Gets equalized. It did. Will keep waiting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. You're still watching the Lenovo LOL Collegiate League Spring 2017 Interconference Series. And of course, we are your shoutcasters for today. I'm Atlas, and with me is Arctic. Of course, those last two games bouncing back between MCL and UC were exciting. But now we're going to have another set of games with UC against Adams University Penguin Authority. So it's going to be match 2 for today. It's going to be Adams University Penguin Authority versus University of Cordillera Scythe.
Yes, indeed. I'm all about the Penguins. People know how much I love the Penguins. So, but nonetheless, of course, no biases there. Very interested in seeing how this will play out and what mindset actually University of Cordillera will have.
They are first seed of Metro West, so it's definitely going to be something that we're looking forward to them performing very well. But of course, before all of that, we have to congratulate the winner for our search and win from last game. And the question was, who gave first blood? And that was MCL Loses, kind of just standing around in the jungle near red buff. And of course, the winner for that mystery gift in a few working days is Louis Christopher P. Almazan. So congratulations, you will be getting that mystery gift. But coming into this game, of course, UC kind of lost some momentum from last match.
Indeed.
So they have to face up against first seed of Metro West, which is actually a daunting task here for this team.
Indeed. And you know, the funny thing is that, like, you'd expect with UC, you know, if they went 2-0, they'd have such a great mindset going into this game. But with that 1-1, you know, there's still kind of that feeling wherein we're still in an unstable situation wherein where we're at as far as the ladder is not quite definitive yet. We don't have a clear lead. You know, 1-1, it's pretty even. You know, it doesn't really have as much impact in terms of the points that you gain. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out the pick and bans.
Of course, pick and bans, they don't want to deal, of course, Adamson doesn't want to deal with the Syndra, Cry Syndra, very effective. And it seems like they are also banning away the map pressure and the roaming from the Talia. On the other hand, they don't want to deal with the mid lane here. Jissy on that Zed or that Orianna, very threatening, so they don't want to deal with that. They want to make sure Cry can actually have an impact in the game. And Kismet on that Lucian, very scary, so they do ban that out. On the other hand, again, Adamson does not want to deal with an oppressive top laner like Darius, so they are banning that away. Seems like, I think they might go for a top lane that's quite weak in the early game, and then scales farther into the mid and late game, something like an Irelia maybe, but we're gonna see later. So, what are these picks so far, Arctic?
Wow, I mean, you know, I'm actually surprised by the Ahri. You know, it definitely shows a lot of confidence that ADU has. Not only the confidence, the priority to make sure that Cry doesn't get it for himself. So yeah, I'm really interested in seeing just how confident ADU is with GC on this Ahri right here. But yeah, of course, UC actually gonna lock in the Lulu and the Caitlyn right away. It's actually interesting because usually tendency is for most teams wherein if the Lulu isn't banned within the first round of bans, you know, usually the blue side would usually first pick it, but looks like it'll be a different case for Adams University.
It's higher priority for Adamson to steal away the Ahri coming from Cry here, but now in response, UC takes that opportunity to take the Lulu. Might be their bot lane, but of course Lulu, very flexible champion, can go to multiple lanes. So we're gonna see how all of that. But of course, top lane will be taken with Mobs, Kled, and we saw that it was very effective in the first game today. On the other hand, it's going to be Adamson responding with their own bot lane. It's going to be the Ezreal and the Karma. Loss of damage, loss of poke, loss of utility and survivability in that lane there for Adamson. And now the bans here for Adamson. Again, taking away more assassins from Cry, plus map pressure from Aquinos. And Scythe does not want to deal with Dwarfs Lee Sin, because Adamson will be getting that first pick before anything.
Indeed, indeed. So yeah, I'm interested in, I mean, we did see Aquinos on that Graves, if I'm not mistaken, earlier. Yeah, that was.
So they will be taking that with their first pick for the second rotation of our pick and ban. They will be giving that Graves onto Aquinos. So now we're seeing already the composition that UC wants. They want to go all in and then just just mow Adamson down.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes for them. You know, I'm definitely seeing a clear pattern as to what composition UC will be going for here, but it looks like Kha'Zix's actually going to be hovered over for Orf, and not even just hover, that's going to be a lock-in actually for Orf right there. So definitely a lot of damage I'm seeing from, a lot of poke in a way from the Karma, the Ezreal, and to an extent the Arya as well.
The Nautilus as well, very survivable, reliable there in the top lane. Now they have a solid front line. Ooh, that is scary. And it seems like with this, if they do lock in this Zyra for University of Cordilleras, it will be on the support side. And then it might mean that Cry will be on that Lulu instead of Assassins. All of his assassins, magic assassins have been taken out. So with their composition here, it seems like they might want to empower their early carries because they have the Kled to just rush in, and then Cry can just continue enchanting his 80 carries. Aquinos and Skeith, and then Hong as well can actually compensate for the damage there with the utility mid lane.
It's actually interesting because, like, you'd think that if you're gonna look at UC's composition, like, you'd think that maybe armor would really help in a way because, like, Mob, Aquinos, Scythe, all AD, all very solid AD. Like, but then again, you really couldn't discount the damage coming from Cry as well, even though that is a utility Lulu. Because if you guys watch previous pro games, I believe it was actually Fade that was the last person that used a mid Lulu.
Winterlands hurts.
Yeah.
Health picks as well is just absolutely destructive. And you can't ignore the damage, even from a support Zyra. Yeah, if Hong gets a few kills under his belt, or assists even, that's going to be a very painful late game against Adu. And the Strangle Thorns is going to be such a huge damage burst, plus a deny, a kind of disengage against Orf and Jissy if they want to go in.
And what I really like about this is, if you're going to look at the composition of UC, I mean, like, sure, Orf has that Kha'Zix, and I'm really interested in seeing how this will play out for him, but then again, he couldn't really assassinate, probably, if he really wants to make sure that that Kha'Zix is really relevant in the mid and late game as far as getting pickoffs, he should really get things going as far as the early game, because if he just kind of prolongs where if it evens out, then he'll be having a hard time assassinating key targets unless they're isolated because of utility coming from Cry particularly. We can just negate a full barrage of damage. Right.
I like the composition from University of Cordilleras here. They have a clear game plan. They have a clear win condition, which is to be a battering ram, absolutely destroy them with damage and engage with their 280 carries. But they do with the natural kits that they've chosen means that they have some buffers. When they make mistakes, they have the wild growth. They don't lack damage because they pick Lulu, because they have that support Zyra, and I really like it. But on the other hand, I think Adams University's composition has a lot more balance to it.
Indeed.
But of course, we will be loading into Game 3 for today, which will be the first game between Adamson University and University of Cordilleras.
Wow, look at everybody showing support, some LCK. Yeah,
the Korean support here.
You know, wouldn't hurt to get a little bit of Korean buffs in this game.
Cry is going to respond with his own mastery badge.
That's a level
7 Lulu. So quite impressive here for that mid lane.
I love
But of course,
that.
it is super easy to get level 7 on any champion.
Aki's also showing his own support as well.
Yeah, just showing their flair here.
Yeah, I mean, like, both teams clearly going into this game with a lot of positive mindset.
But the thing is that no one established deep vision. They were too busy memeing it up with the flares that no one bothered to lay down any wards, which is super good actually in the early game, because if you can, because you can predict the jungle path of the enemy jungle, but if you have hard information, that gives you everything on where he'll go next, where he'll be. So not having that deep vision actually hurts both of these teams.
Indeed.
But of course, they are evenly behind at this point if none of them bother to get deep wards in.
And it looks like both sides will be starting off towards the bottom side of the map, both Orf and Aquinos. But look at this, GC and Cry getting a little bit of poke on right off the bat.
Already. And it seems like, yeah, Cry having that Ignite as well means that he wants to be able to match the kill pressure coming from GC, and pushing the lane early means he wants to reach level 2 before that Ori.
So we'll just have to see how this goes for them. And then, like, yeah, as I was saying, like, since both the Graves and Orf started out, but wow, level 1 jukes.
Oh,
Dang, first blood, and from a Lulu, not to mention. That was pretty impressive, actually, you know.
I like how Cry played that, because he was pushing the lane early. So if ever that fight prolonged itself, the one who would get level 2 first was Cry. And with a boost in health and mana and being able to get that second spell, it means Jissy, because Jissy kept trying to go for that fight, it was inevitable that first blood would go to Cry. And I do not like how Jissy tried to force that, underestimating, not respecting the power of that Lulu enough.
Exactly. If it were like a level 2, level 3, maybe I'd understand. But considering that was a level 1, that was just so tricky. And you know, technically, it's actually harder for GC on the Ari to technically proc that passive for the sustain for level 1.
Oh,
but
here comes Akinos.
Here comes Akinos. Actually forces a flash. Indeed.
But yeah, because consider this. At level 1, Lulu has 2 damage spells. The Glitter Lance and her passive, which adds some little bit of magic damage to her auto attacks. On the other hand, Jissy's is just straight up sustain. But look at the roots coming from Hong here, actually being able to just pressure this Karma Ezreal bot lane.
Exactly, and technically you'd kind of... I love how... Oh no, but it looks like Mob and Dazzle actually going up against each other. Mob actually got the confidence though.
Orf will be here in a little while. Seems like he's hesitating a little bit on that and not able to get that kill onto Mob, because I think he was really in a position to take that away. Because there is a short cooldown after Mob gets dismounted before he can regain courage, and I think that would have been a good opportunity for Orf to get his first kill of the game. The first kill for Kha'Zix is super important, because that's what sets him up for the rest of the game. That gives him that 300, 400 gold. It might be now Cry paying the price for aggression.
There goes Orf. Cry trying to run away as fast as he can, though. If you're going to notice, that is going to be a flash down to Orf. Jumps in. GC and Orf continue to chase. I don't think Cry will be surviving this. Just tries to prolong it, but the kill ultimately going to Orf.
There we go. That's Orf's first kill of the game onto the mid lane. Gives GC, equalizes GC's mid lane a little bit in terms of experience. Plus, that means that Orf gets that 1 kill. It's actually so important to get the first kill as a Kha'Zix. It boosts your gold, which means that you can go for more aggressive ganks after you back and recall.
There we go. There comes the teleport coming from Mob there, but looks like it's going to be the gank indeed. Good timing though. Looks like Saul going to be going down to this. He doesn't have his flash, no hookup, and that's going to be the kill going to Akinos.
Akinos getting that kill as well. Matches the first kill for Orf. For someone like Graves, it's not as vital to get the first kill, but it's still, that really helps. Once he gets his first damage item after getting his junk, he gets the longsword and the boots as well. Plus the Hunter's Potion to continue to sustain. I don't think the Hunter's Potion is that vital, actually.
Exactly.
Because he's so survivable with just auto attacks, knocking back the enemy chances. But it seems like he's going for the long game, wants to stay in the map for longer so he can gank.
Exactly, and you know, this is very typical Akinos in a way, especially since we've seen how he's played out the first 2 games. So again, I actually kind of appreciate what Akinos is going for here. You know, with that longer sustain without needing to go back to base as frequent, definitely allows him to try to establish some sort of pressure and find a proper gank rate. But here we go,
being able to get more ganks here. The top lane, that's just going to be the usual trades between top laners, but Mob, of course, has a lot more room to be aggressive.
Exactly, look at Mob going at it. Zal actually forced his kind of back away for the meantime, and that's a very, very Hank with that passive. Oh man, look at the confidence of Zal. They'd have to be very, very careful. Don't go to violent tendencies. The 4th attack to take him down, and the Mob survives that very, very beautifully.
And he has some safety too. If he gets dismounted, that's like a split second of invulnerability, which means that he could have just easily tower dived him a little bit, and that's going to be... Wow, Dazai losing 2 deaths against Kled is going to make Mob's job a lot easier. Going to make Dazai's job as a front line much harder. And look at the CS difference. It's actually manifesting how much pressure the kit from Kled is giving for this top lane. And now Mob, despite not having teleport, can roam very easily to mid lane or to any jungle fights.
Exactly,
the top side.
With that charge up, that's going to be very, very tricky. And the problem is that Zai couldn't really even respond as a result, as frequent as he would in comparison to Mob here. And this will definitely grant a lot more pressure from University of Cordilleras. And yeah, there we go. Looks like Akinos actually very deep into the jungle of
Yeah, really stealing here, and
there goes Mob going in on hard onto the Zai once again. Violent tendencies doing it. We're getting a lot of damage onto the Zai. The Zai not even able to trade that much, but there goes the charge. Clouding out Orf right there, uses charge to run away to safety.
yeah, that is quite a defensive use of the charge. I think he had some room to be more confident there and try to go for a 2v1. But look at that damage.
Oh no, the Zai in quite the trouble here. Forced to flash away. And looks like he will be able to survive, but then again, no mana, barely any health, will be forced to back.
And look at that, because they knew that Orf would be top side, it gives Aquino so much room there in the bottom side. He got the red buff, he stole the red buff from Orf, plus he gets a really sweet Infernal Break, which is huge for a composition like this, who wants to all-in you so often. Exactly. And as I said, I think UC is now going for a Sivir comp without a Sivir. They have the charge of speed boost, they have a lot of enchantments going for them, and their damage dealers really appreciate the speed boost and the survivability from their supports.
Exactly. You know, very straightforward composition that they have here as far as what they should be doing. Sure, Adu has a somewhat of a well-rounded comp, but because of UC, how they're playing this out, I'm really loving it actually.
It's really nice so far for UC, but of course, gold lead at 8 minutes, still only 1.2k. That's not too big, that's not too impactful, but of course, with UC, how UC's been playing, it seems like they're set to go for mid-game once it reaches like 15-20 minutes.
Here we go, Mob just kind of lingering around this brush. Will he be initiating onto the Zai? Does actually can, and there we go, gets the dash in Mob. Right. Actually get the skill. Dazai trying to back away once again, but because of the increased damage from the Infernal Drink, still gets the kill. Bear Trap in a row.
Just enough. And him, I like how he uses Joust. He uses Joust to move across Dazai, block away the Dredge Line escape, and then just keep wailing on him after that. The fearlessness. Even if he gets dismounted, he can just get Skull back up by hitting that turret after the top laner's dead. And now 0-3-0 with a 4 waves behind Mob. It's gonna be so hard for Dazai to be impactful. He still can do his CC, but when it comes to it, consider that he's the only frontliner for Adamson. Which means that when the team fight starts, it's going to be so hard for Adamson to defend against the 280 carries plus that Kled. So really, with Dazai being so behind, it hurts the rest of his team.
Indeed, indeed. But here comes Orb trying to make something out of this though. But then again, with the vision though, I don't think Mob will be able to escape this time. Loses Scarra, but will be going down. Good try though to try to get something out of it. Still translating for a kill to ADU.
Yeah, but all that time and health invested in the top lane means that Aquinos still trying to make plays here in the bot lane. He will not be spotted out by any wards. This is very dangerous. Stranglethorns is up. And look at all that damage putting out by the bot lane of UC. This is going to be an easy dive if they play this correctly.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see how this goes. There goes the True Shot Barrage, but that is the signal for Aquinas to go in. There goes the teleport coming in from the Zai. Will he be made in time though? But Sky manages to get the kill onto Reeling though. Here comes Mob again as a result though. Here goes the reinitiate. The Zai in the front line though, taking a lot of damage though, easily going down. That's going to be only Simone, the only remaining member. Aquinas taking a lot of damage, but still very well played by UC.
It's actually Orb taking it down. So it's going to be, they paid a price the price there for his team. But look at the control here in this bot lane turret. That's going to be Orf and Jissy. Gonna try and get to this lane.
They'll
of course, that does push them off. That does push them off. Cry, I think Cry dying there was worth it. Because if Cry had, I mean, he could have avoided it by not going, but if he didn't go, it would have been, say, a 4-5v3, 5v4 there in the bot lane.
Exactly. Cry
so
was actually
him dying, siya alay, which means that, yeah, it's actually worth it for Adamson, for UC.
It's a very much welcome distraction in a way to avoid AD responding to that.
So it's like how that fight went out. It seemed like Jissy was kind of in trouble there, but of course, he does get that, but he gets charmed after this, and actually the damage from Orf will be enough to take him down.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see how this goes again. 3 and 6, still looking good for University of Cordillera so far. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give commendations to Mob here. This is why Kled was banned out in that second game against Malayan College's Laguna. They really saw the power of Mob on, you know, how he plays out this champion. It's really evident. Exactly. Yeah. And he really knows how to play the matchup against the Zai on this Nautilus. Like I mentioned, because of the Joust, how strategically he uses it to avoid any form of escape that the Zai has through the Dredge. it's just so it's mind-boggling, to be honest.
But I do think they can play this top lane a little better. He has a substantial lead, and Orf has to be all over the map because of how ahead the other members of UC are. Which means that they should be getting this Rift Herald. They only have, they have 7 minutes to take it, which is actually a lot. But the earlier they get it, the more value they can get from it, I think.
There we go.
Seems like they will actually be starting that Rift Herald, I think. We're going to have to see the minimap, but for now it's going to be bot lane action here. And we can really see that, yes, the 80, yeah, that's going to be Akinos actually soloing it.
Wow.
For now, with a little help now from Cry. Because, yeah, new Rift Herald, because it's slower to turn, you can actually solo it with a few champions like Graves.
Exactly, and here comes Mob. We'll be helping him out
Collecting
here.
the spoils of Rift Herald.
This will actually be a very juicy objective for UC, just because of the competition that they have.
Oh, they're actually giving it away to Akinos. It's not a bad choice, actually. Akinos getting that empowered recall means that he can get more ganks out. He is able to move around the map. Like, all those 5-second recalls are going to build up into like 20 seconds saved. And for a jungler, time, every second, every millisecond is crucial. And giving that to Akinos, who is actually just beginning to snowball, I think is a very good choice.
Exactly, very good strategy there from Akinos.
He is also behind in experience because of all the times he's been ganking.
Exactly.
So the empowered recall would really help him out in that regard and catching up.
Helps kind of balance things out. But here we go, UC continuing the damage here. There's a
Here comes
barrage.
GC. Might be a little troublesome
No,
for
UC
UC.
trying to back away though, but Akinos actually within the vicinity. This is going to be a 4v3. Akinos taking so much damage, but will be able to survive the Hong, trying to frontline for everyone else. But Skeet, in response, will be trying to get some auto attack.
Teleport is not available for Mod here.
Oh,
Quite dangerous for UC to stay around. Definitely a mistake for Akinos to stay in that brush.
Exactly.
Because they should have known that 4 members would be going down.
It looks like ADU will be translating this into a dragon. That is
Ocean Ray.
very good for ADU, although it would have been better actually, in my opinion, for UC. But still, here comes the
Here
charge.
comes Mob.
Oh no, Mob actually going to go in. Will he be able to take anyone down? Remember, members of UC actually very low on health or mana there. Mob actually frontlining like a pro, actually getting a lot of damage onto Simone. Continues the chase though. Simone actually manages to get away. Looks like we'll be going away though. Mob actually overstays in this front line right here. Goes down, but still, that is going to be a 1-for-1. Will UC continue this chase? The Orb actually very low on both mana and health though. This continues on. ADU trying to back away from this. UC continuing the chase, but still very, very interesting play.
Not worth it for UC there. They lose their top laner plus the Drake, and they only trade 1-for-1. Seems like Adamson gets the upper hand in that Drake there. And at this point, the gold lead for UC is only like 1K. 1.3K, and it's not big enough at 15 minutes, which means that if Adamson can continue taking these objectives, getting the better fights against UC, and then UC is going to have a hard time. UC Scythes is going to reap the rewards of their inaction coming into this game here if they don't get more decisive fights here. Because Adamson is just getting the better team fights, better skirmishes.
Exactly, and you know, if this game prolongs, that's where Adamson lost. Oh, actually Simone actually managing to get the kill onto Hong, but Hong in exchange will be good.
It's more worth it for UC. Support for 80 carry, which means that Scythe is able to free farm more and actually gets a better back timer by recalling now to getting a little bit of farm.
There we go, 5 and 8 now, but yet again, like I was saying, like Adamson, if this prolongs, because of the patience that Adamson has, while keeping that gold difference in check, you know, it's just going to be really good for them. I don't think UC in the later, like in the really late phases of the game, even with the composition that they have, could respond to that.
Look at how all that happened at the bot lane. Yep, he gets rooted, and then while Hong does die, the damage and CC coming from the plants is enough.
Indeed, there we go.
But actually, I do think that's more worth it for Simone in the end, because he was the one that got the kill. It was Hong that got the kill downstairs. Look at the charge coming from Mob.
It's a very short charge.
Yeah, but it does scare away members of Adamson, which was the important thing, so they can get this mid lane. Activates the Rift Herald now. Look at that charge. Ooh.
Oh, that's a juicy take right there. That's going to be an inner mid turn down, but just like the fight will continue on. There it goes. Knock up onto Cry, not really doing anything significant.
Ooh,
looks like
gets
ADU.
a charge in.
Indeed. And it looks like UC will be able to back away from the meantime, content with that tower take.
But look at that Rift Herald value right there. All other empowered recalls for Akinos, plus, it is Dazai though.
Dazai though, luckily for him, Blasting Cone was there, but looks like Bob will actually be frontline for the meantime. Not really taking as much damage though. There goes the shield coming from the Lulu.
They should have denied the blast cone.
Indeed.
Like immediately denied the blast cone there.
I was actually surprised that they didn't. Well, then again, there was a ward, so like if they did, they would have been caught out.
But yeah, that is going to be a small win in terms of pressure for UC being able to get those 2 turrets, extending their gold lead now to 4,000 gold. It's actually huge. Big at this point in time.
UC actually sticking around this bot lane, gonna try to take down this outer mid turret. There it goes. The connect onto Relink though will be able to dash away, but speed away for the meantime. And yeah, UC still lingering around here, but looks like they will be backing away for the meantime.
And look at the value from that Rift Herald. They took 2 turrets in the span of like 15 seconds. And now that actually boosts their gold lead to around 4K. And with that, they can get more items. And because of the way their composition is held, if their composition snowballs, it just gets heavier and heavier and faster. So if they can get more leads, it's going to be a win more for them. So, but still, Adamson, if they can hit UC's weaknesses, because their weaknesses here is that they don't really have engage. They only have the charge, but that is easily telegraphed. But if they can watch out for UC, if they can hit their weaknesses and put them in a hold-up, they can go for an all-out attack and overpower this competition like here.
Looks like Bob goes in, but just gonna lose Carl, forced to back away. Look at all the members of UC though. Akino's actually quite low on mana, but they do get the drop down. They manage to take down the bottom outer turret.
And still going to be the top lane push coming from Cry here. Gonna lay down a little bit of vision and get the health regeneration from that honey fruit. Actually, now rotating down to the mid lane to clear his own mid lane wave. But look at all these objectives that UC is getting. 3 turrets so far, plus that top lane turret is very close to being taken down. They are just collecting gold now. They don't have to go for kills just yet. Because if they get into a head-on fight, this actually might be Adamson in the lead. But if they can get these gold leads by rotation, by good rotations, by objectives, then that's where they can start pulling the trigger.
There you go. So we'll just have to see how this goes. But again, the University of Cordillera is looking a bit stronger, especially going up against the first seed, not to mention Metro West. So they're really showing up in this game, especially. Again, ladies and gents, they are actually the 3rd seed for North Luzon, so it's almost unheard of that a first seed team, not to mention from the Metro West Conference, struggling against one of our North Luzon teams.
It's gonna be Mob having to use his charge away, too scared because they don't really have rich vision there in the bot lane, and this is actually impressive because in the LCL, the trend has been that the Metro Manila conferences have been one of the strongest. But here is going to be Adamson faltering against somewhere from the north. It's going to be Mob, though, the target of the 2.
Yeah, Mob, though, really good distraction while everyone else busy up on the top side. Looks like Mob actually doesn't even lose Carl,
they start the Baron off of that. Is that good? Because I think Adamson knows, and they're taking quite a lot of damage here. Akinos especially, and Pride. They will have to rotate away from this.
Like,
good try though. Good try.
Definitely.
Because that was 2 members being pulled by Mob there in the bot lane. Plus, he had his own teleport. So that was quite too risky. Look at the health that was taken away from Akinos and Cry.
I like how UC's kind of knows how to play distractions in a way. Earlier it was with Cry, wherein they secured a lot of kills in that bot lane earlier, and then now it's that almost a good Baron take. So yeah, I really like the macro in a way coming from UC.
It's going to be Mob in a little bit of trouble if he lingers. He's going to run into Orc. Misses to be Bearcraft.
Oh no, Mob right in the top side here. Loses Scarl, goes down, Orc gets the kill.
That is one of the ways that Adamson can hit the weaknesses of Scythe. Yes, Mob is a good distraction, but if he's not distracting them from anything else, if they don't trade that distraction to any other objective, then Adamson's going to take that and run with it. It's going to be the second Ocean Break for Adamson if they get this. Next is going to be the next big fight. Oh!
Akino trying to steal it, but then here goes the knockup though. UC works back away. There's some very low. Actually, Sky manages to go down to Relink. Oh no, this is going very, very south for UC real fast. Akino's forced to back away along with Cry. Will they be able to run away from this? So Orb, now unstoppable, gets the kill onto Hong. And it looks like they are continuing things. Cry actually running in the wrong direction, trying to prolong things, but will be going down. That's going to be double kill for Orb.
Super not worth there. Even if they have gotten the kill, the steal on that Drake, it was not worth it. It's not really a Ocean Drake isn't really a vital Drake. Of course, 2 Ocean Drakes on Adu is going to hurt a lot, but giving the killing spree to Orf and possibly 2 turrets is just way too big of a cost for that Ocean Drake. And this might actually be the opportunity now for Adamson to get the Baron, but seems like Mob is alive though, so yeah, they try and go for it, but now the Stranglethorns is doing a lot of work here, knocking them up. But after that, Adamson is now free to do the damage that they want to do. And fearlessly, Orf just goes in with Dazai, which allows Jizzy to actually deal a lot of his damage. And look at the shields from that Karma, plus the natural shields coming from Nautilus being able to. And then Hong gets isolated, gets taken down by the book here after taking that dragon and then preventing the steal. And then the team fight after that is just a disaster for University of Cordillera.
Oh no, and Orf, you know, not even a single death to his name right now. 9-8, but still, even though with these skills, definitely looking tricky. Like, even though University of Cordillera has that lead, like I mentioned, as this goes on, as this game progresses, late game, ADU, this is gonna have quite the ball stomping on UC. And what's actually interesting is that I don't think most of what we've been seeing from UC is good mind games, but as far as utilizing the comp to the max that they have, I haven't really quite seen it yet. Again, it's a very straightforward composition, but still, we really haven't seen any particular plays that exemplify that.
It seems like Adamson's just reading their mind games after, of course, the distractions are there, but they do read through that and make the right rotations to stop UC's plans. And for now, it seems like they're taking fights that they shouldn't be taking. They're already down 1 member. It's like Mob. And Mob also being out of position there is so bad for them. He should already be thinking 30 seconds ahead. When I'm in this area of the bot lane or top lane, how long will it take before Adamson gets to me?
Exactly.
And that's the way he should be thinking it. For now, it seems like he's just going all Kled mode and going in. But look at the damage, though.
Oh, wow. Flashes into Akinos. Akinos getting the kill now on his killing spree.
So that's one of the ways that, of course, and that's going to be Adamson making the mistake that Mob had, isolating himself from the rest of the team and dying. So now, that is the 80 carry gone. Let's see how UC plays this to their advantage.
Oh no, Mob are taking quite a lot of damage over Orf in exchange as well. This is going to be a 2v3. I don't think this will go quite well for UC though. Orf still might actually go down. That's going to be shut down. Actually manages to jump out and jump away though. Mob still quite alive. Actually manages to get back Star. This might be quite tricky for Dazai. Will he be able to survive this though with the shield? Yes indeed, but Relink might actually be the next casualty. The Orf manages to back away from safety. That is going to be the recall, but still 1 for 2 in favor still of Adams.
Mob has not have any courage just yet.
Oh no.
Tries to build it up.
GC and Relink actually juggling this. Relink almost going down, but that is going to be the bait that will secure Mob's death. But here we go. We have a split push happening in the form of Cry, but looks like Orf will be able to come through for the response. Jumps in, but there goes the knockup though. Orf taking quite a number of substantial amount of damage. That is going to be the polymorph right there. Will Cry be able to take him down? And yes! Gets the... Oh! Okay, not quite done yet, Cry. Still have to get 1 auto attack on, but still looks like Orf can actually take down Cry, but that's going to be a shutdown. Close, but not close enough.
It's going to be still UC in the lead, but that's one of the manifestations that Adamson is the first seed of Metro West and UC's 3rd seed, and how they pick their fights. Of course, there, Orf kind of disproved that by trying to pick a fight with Cry, but still, UC trying to go for that 2v3, not minding that their team might not get there in time, and Orf actually escapes for that with his life.
Oh man, things are very interesting on this game so far. Going back and forth, but it looks like UC actually trying to take this Baron once again.
And Sky in the position to just take this Baron from over the wall. But that might not be the best position with the rest of UC trying to get on this.
Oh no, this is going to be the fight though. UC going to go engage onto ADU, but still a lot of low health members. GC gets the kill on the Hong, but looks like this is not quite done yet. 4 members of ADU. The members of UC though. There comes Scarl. Gets the kill. Oh no, triple kill for Scythe. And wow, they will escape 4 kills onto the members of ADU, but looks like they're not quite done yet. Orf gets vengeance onto Cry. Gets the jump in. Scythe running for dear life, but looks like Orf will be backing away for the meantime. Scythe trying to kite this. Orf will be able to escape, but yeah, again, nonetheless, mission accomplished for University of Cordillera.
Getting the Baron, extending the gold lead to 6K means that That's actually that was very dangerous positioning coming from Skype here. Because look at this. Even though they win this fight, look at how long Skype has to rotate around to try and get some DPS out. Of course, it keeps him out of harm's way, which allows him to get a triple kill in the end with the help of Cry's wild growth knocking everyone up. And look at Mob just surviving through everything by getting the courage from the musket, getting the health back, which means that Akinos can just get the triple kill after that. But imagine all of the time spent by their AD carry there trying to rotate to walk around the Baron pit.
Exactly. That would have been actually, that might have actually gone much better for University that thing. But yeah, 14-15 on the scoreboard. Looks like UC sticking to try to take this Mountain Drake.
Oh, Mountain Drake with 2 AD carries is going to be painful for Adamson University structures.
Oh no, Orf kind of lingering around. Will this be yet another fight that we'll be seeing? Charge almost up for Mob, but looks like for the meantime we won't be seeing any fights with yes, but still, Mountain Drake going to UC.
It's going to be the Guardian Angel pickup for Mob here, which means that he's just going to be surviving a lot. He does have the Ninja Hobby as well to defend against Simone and Orf. So having that is going to be very survivable while still dealing so much damage with a Cleaver and a Titanic Hydra.
That being said, like, this is very textbook Kled build right here. You know, you go for the Black Cleaver first, but still have that Tiamat for the clear.
Yeah, the best part about for Mob here is that Guardian Angel is a BF sword item, which means that even if he's survivable, he still deals more damage than he would have with the previous Guardian Angel. But of course, Skype, no slouch, get the 2SS as well so he can't get snared or charmed. And being able to get that DPS on these turrets, on these waves, on these team fights means that it's going to be very scary. He does have the Infinity Edge. It's a flaying tool, and Skype is going to be using that to shoot people down.
Yes, indeed. Looks like UC still trying to get in onto this mid inhibitor turret. You know, turning a little bit of pressure right there. But still, Cry actually lingering around the jungle area. I'm actually surprised that even with the Baron buff, they're not putting some split pressure, although there is Mob in the top part. So looks like members of UC
it's a little bit slower because the wave clear and survivability from Adamson is so reliable. It seems like they're just going to translate this into bot lane, but their wave is quite far away.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. So UC trying to make a sneak play, though not quite happening, though, as none of the members of ADU even attempt, they didn't even consider going into
They're
that
trying to go for a pick-off while Adamson is rotating to respond to the split push, but it's not working because all of their turrets, except for the top side, are already at the inhibitor level. So that means that they're not going to rotate into the jungle where they don't have vision.
Exactly. And there we go, UC again. Look at
Now
this.
they're just going to go for the by the book split push here.
Oh no, will they be seeing any initiates those guys getting a little bit of auto attack onto the members of ADU, but still, here comes Mob though. Will he be charging in? That is the question, not quite just yet. We'll be reserving that for the
might
meantime.
just go for the inhibitor here, waiting for their waves here. They do have 2 AD carries, one with really long range. So if they can get a solid front line with Mob,
all they need is this wave right
here. This wave will help them out a lot. They do have the Baron still.
Oh boy, here we go. UC, this might be a
Wait,
there goes the
what?
Not sure what happened there.
Okay, that really ruins your chances of sieging this. I don't know what the hell happened there.
And there goes
but
the
that's gonna hurt them
Looks like
a
they're
lot.
gonna pay for it though.
Started.
Here we go. Okay, not quite happening.
Okay.
Still good. Good strangle torrent right there, but still nothing quite happening. That's gonna be the charm onto Mob though. Not exactly the best target.
Still gonna go for that inhibitor.
Still going for it. No Baron buff up for UC though. A lot of low health deep on UC though. Will ADU go in onto them? Looks like that will not be the case though. No Percy as ADU ADU actually contents himself with defending their base.
That was strange.
That was strange indeed. Like there was a lot of ways where action could have happened, but didn't.
That's restraint come from both teams. But that weird charge, misclick charge. Imagine if Hong's, he had a really good strangle torrent, right?
Exactly.
If charge was available there, it would have been such a great move for UC. But of course, the misclick, mispress, really quite ruined that opportunity for them.
Mukhang medyo na hype, mga kaibigan. See, Bob like, we're winning. Oops.
Oops.
Oopsie. But yeah, looks like ADU will be able to establish some level of control once again as far as the vision games. against University of Cordillera. So ADU somewhat back on the map though, but still, that's actually a pretty impressive gold lead-ish. 8,000.
It's around 8,000.
But then again, still ADU. I'd say they still have all the potential in the world to turn this around.
Yeah, because if they get a good pickoff, they have lots of survivability. Of course, that's the link to the search and win. Just open a new tab, get that bit.ly link, fill the form out completely. And if you're the first, you will get that Mr. Gift in a few working days. But yeah, they have all the tools to succeed. They have a much more solid front line, even if he was behind quite a lot in the game. They have pretty good pickoff for any stragglers. Plus, they can just poke out Simone and Relink, and Jissy can just continue poking out. And Orf with the evolved spike range will actually be a lot more help to that once he reaches level 16. And after they poke UC out, they have quite squishy targets. And wala pang lifesteals this guy. So the more that they get this poke out, the more that Orf gets these juicy targets.
Indeed.
Even if they're not isolated. If they're low enough, that will be an easy reset. It seems like UC using this opportunity to get this mid lane, already laying down a trap line so they can't get engaged on.
Yes, and AD actually separated as DC trying to defend the wave pushing down in bot lane, but looks like almost taking down that mid turret. But here comes Dazai. Will he be making a play? No, not quite. Not there in time, but still good.
Baron will be up. They can't risk anything with a team fight, so they have to put the. Of course, here vision control is on UC. Everything is on them. It seems like they already are starting it, and Adamson has an idea that they definitely know. So this is an opportunity for them to actually take out UC. Here comes Dazai.
Oh no, this might get bloody. Members of ADU actually almost out within range. Baron actually has 2,000, but trying not just to get the kill onto Dazai. That's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. Looks like DC trying to go in onto the members. That's going to be 3 members of UC Decimated. Make that 4 with Mob, the only remaining member left. That's going to be the double kill, and this might be the ace. Guardian Angel going to be proc, but that won't be necessary. Not particularly useful in this case. That is going to be indeed the ace, and this will be the Baron for Adamson.
Baron call was so questionable from UC. They had no members. Adamson had no members down. I think they believed too much in the bot lane wave with the inhibitor down and the super minions pushing down, that they thought that they could just really get the Baron. But no, Adamson University, their composition with their poke, with their damage, with their assassination, it's perfectly fit to pick apart a team that's trying to do Baron overconfidently. Look at Dazai here, fearlessly going in, putting out a lot of the CC. He does die, but all of those cooldowns, all of that time spent trying to take him down, while the Baron is still hitting UC, means that this is an easy cleanup for Adamson University. And because their team is split up, Scythe cannot get any free hits out and gets instantly taken down by Orf.
Oh man.
That fail flash at the end.
And again, this is what we were talking about earlier, the potential, the comeback potential that Adamson University has. And this is the comeback that they actually need. Now that they have that Baron, the ball is in their court right now. University of Cordillera is forced to just kind of respond to what aggressive plays Adamson might be making with that Baron. And
yeah, they're still in the lead in gold, but when it comes to the actual decision making, it seems like UC has the tendency to choke on these objective calls. They can get the siege pretty properly, but when it comes to actually getting these huge epic monsters, they might have a little trouble. And they actually give away the Infernal Drake to Adamson, which means with 2 Ocean Drakes, 1 Infernal Drake, it's going to be a steamy team fight here for Adamson if they can go in, get the value from the damage boost, and then rotate out because they have the mobility for it, and then get the mana and HP regeneration from the Ocean Drake. But it seems like UC still not missing a beat. They're still going for these turrets, and this is actually where they specialize.
And here we go, Mob actually trying to make a play here, knowing very well that the bot lane duo, ADU is actually in the bottom, but here we go, it's going to be Dazai that's the first to go down, but looks like Jeezy trying to make a play though, but looks like it's going to be the reverse. That's the kill. 2 members of ADU down, only 2 members left though. Orphan, Relink, what are you doing? We'll be going down. The Guardian Angel is actually proc. I don't think that'll actually result to anything significant though. Gets the shutdown. Only 2 members of ADU left though, but that is going to be Mob going in. Simone gets the killing spree. Oh man, this is very, very tricky. A lot of members of UC though, very, very low health.
1 hit from Simone will take members of UC down.
Oh no, UC has to be very careful with their positioning here. Trying to not go down to Simone, especially since this is a late game Ezreal that we're seeing here.
And here's what I was saying. UC can play these turret objectives so well, but when it comes to the Baron calls, the Dragon calls, it's not working out for them.
I think this is the problem. this is where the problems in composition, right? UC has a very straightforward composition. It's very plan A, plan B not as strong. But with ADU, because their composition is so balanced, there's plan A, plan B, plan C, and different options.
Let's look at how all of that, because the rest of Adamson is separated from this team, which means that they have a lot of free time to take away the front line, Dazai. And Jissi, this is pretty good AoE. He can go for the Spirit Rush plus the Proto Belt here. And look at the damage that he brings out. Huge. But because of the wild growth, they can just keep wailing on them back. And because they go in 1 by 1, 2 by 2, Adamson gets taken down. And even though Orb tries to take the mob, this Carl is there for mob attack, which means that the GA is taken down. And then they can just kill him once he gets back up from the grave. Of course, Simone here is very scary, but UC was very fearless. They had one objective, the turret. They had no time for these small fries. They had to go for the turret.
You're gonna look at things though, whether or not. I mean, ADU did have that Baron buff earlier. The problem was they weren't really able to translate it to as many turrets as they can, just because you know that's the deficiency that you have when you don't have any. When you only have one inhibitor turret up, which was technically in the top lane, which UC was working. That being said, you know, ADU back in a sticky situation without that Baron buff, it's pretty much even.
8k gold deficit. The opportunity, the way they can win this game is take advantage of UC's decision making. They have such questionable decision making when it comes to picking the fights that they want around these objectives. This might be an opportunity here, because look at the damage that Simone can bring. UC is not a very tanky team, and that is manifesting here with Cry immediately being taken down.
Oh no, this might be tricky, but still, 5 members of ADU up against 4, and they are continuing to stage. That's going to be Orb, going to go for the jump. They're not able to take down Akinas just yet, but here comes the charge. Looks like this will be enough to hold back ADU for the meantime.
There's going to be losing Cry for that, though. And that's actually one of the ways that Adu can take. They have lots of mobility and assassination potential. So by taking advantage of that, they can actually take out a member of UC and take it from there. If they can continue poking and sieging, it's all cut out for them. But of course, UC, they definitely want a team fight. Look at the build from Mob. Guardian Angel plus the Gargoyle Stoneblade means that these 5v5s, anything with that involves more than 3 members, is going to be such a tanky, hard to kill Kled.
There we go. We'll just have to see how this plays out for them. And yeah, I mean, I actually like the use of Gargoyle Stoneblade in this game, because if you're going to look at the composition that ADU has, there's a lot of people that actually need to collapse. I mean, there's the Nautilus, Orb, and then GC to an extent is actually within enough range.
The tankiness boost from Gargoyle Stoneblade is so good. And him having that with a Guardian Angel means that he can just continue going into these fights. It seems like the focus will be on Elder Drake, establishing vision around that objective. And UC has to be careful, because we saw that they've been faltering in terms of these objective games, but seems like they are very sneaky here. They can go here. The charge is available for them, so if someone gets out of position, it'll be very difficult for Adamson. Seems like now, very sneaky. Might actually go instead for the inhibitor. It is available to them. They're still waiting around the wings while Cry is just taking away the inhibitor.
ADU trying to figure out where UC is, but looks like their location will be revealed at this point. They go to try for Dazai.
Team split. This is an opportunity for UC because the front line is away. They should go in.
And there we go. This is going to be quite tricky. Mob actually going to the front line. Unfortunately, isn't as tacky as it was before. But here we go. Oh no, ADU's involved. Will go down, but that's going to be healed to save his life. But this fight is not done just yet. A lot of burst, but gets back Scarl. ADU losing members 1 by 1. That's going to be Mob confidently going to the front line. Sky able to just free hit like a pro. That is going to be 3 members of ADU down. This may potentially be the game with only 2 members left from ADU.
Wow, you see that decision-making to just go for that sneaky play. Lets them do that, and they pull the trigger so perfectly. They knew Dazai was away from the team, so they just go straight into it. And this actually cost Adamson the game because they separated themselves.
And there we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, UC getting the first game against ADU.
I love that last play. They know that the vision is not there for Adamson around that part, and Elder Dragon was almost up. So of course the natural reaction from Adamson is to go there, check, and destabilize the vision. but they see that where are they? Where are they? There are no wards here. So they just wander around their own jungle thinking they're safe, and they split up. That's what cost them the game. They split up. Dazai not being there to frontline for his team means that Jesse, Simone, Relink, and Orf are all vulnerable. And Mob just survived through all of that with a Gargoyle Stone Plate, with a Hex Drinker, getting Skarl back with just a sliver of health. And look at the damage. Even though that Jesse tried so hard, the balance coming from... Because everyone here is a damage dealer for UC.
And that's what I really like about that composition. You know, I mean, it's very straightforward. Very, very straightforward. You have the utilities, you have the clear damage dealers, a lot of AD. But yeah, I mean, what I really like about this game is that UC, we did talk about how some of their decision making was kind of off. But then again, at that last clash right there, the mind games.
They really excel at that.
Exactly.
I think they realize, okay, Elder Dragon is not for us. Because it can just get stolen from us. We can just get engaged on after we're taken down. So let's play it cool here in the jungle. Sneaky. Because Cry was drawing some aggro there in the bot lane. So of course, naturally, they would rotate there. So once they were in position, they try to go for the inhibitor, and then the rest of Adu will go to them. And that's because of the split of their pathing, they just get taken down. And I really like that last play.
Well, but then again, University of Cordilleras, you know, hopefully this will give them a boost of confidence. Whether or not this will translate to a 2-0 or maybe a 1-1 like earlier, we'll just have to see, ladies and gents. But of course, that was Game 3 for the meantime. But stick around as we'll be heading into Game 4 for the local Legion powered by Lenovo. This is, of course, Arctic at your service. And with me is, of course, Atlas. We'll be right back in a few. Remember, members of UC actually very low on health or mana there. Mob actually frontlining like a pro, actually getting a lot of damage onto Simone. But into the chase though, Simone actually manages to get away. Looks like will be going away though. Mob actually overstays in this frontline right here. Goes down, but still, that is going to be a 1-for-1. Will UC in this case.
The next big fight. Oh!
Nino trying to steal it, but then it goes to knockup though. UC works back away. There's some very low. Actually, Sky manages to go down to Relink. Oh no, this is going very, very south for fast. Athena's forced to back away along the side. Still, might actually go down. That's going to be something that actually manages to jump out and jump away though. Mob still quite alive. Actually manages to get back Star. This might be quite tricky for Design. Will he be able to survive this though with the shield? Yes indeed, but Relink might actually be the next casualty. The Orb manages to back away from safety. That's going to be the recall, but still, 1-for-2. Favorite skill of Adam.
Mob does not have any courage just yet. Tries to build it up.
Actually judging this really almost going down. This is going to be the fight though. UC gonna go engage onto AD, but still a lot of low health members. GC gets the kill on down, but looks like this is not quite done yet. 4 members of ADU. But the other members of UC though. Here goes Skarl. Gets the kill. Oh no! Triple kill. Force. Oh no, this might get bloody. Members of ADU actually almost down within range. Baron actually has 2,000 but trying not just to get the kill onto the side. That's gonna be a 1-for-1 so far. Looks like GC trying to go in onto the members. That's gonna be 3 members of UC decimated. Make that 4 with Bob, the only remaining member left. That's going to be the double kill. And this might be the ace. Guardian Angel going to be talking about actually trying to make a player knowing very well that the bot lane duel. Bot lane duel is actually in the bottom. And here we go. It's going to be Dazai that's the first to go down. But looks like he's trying to make a play though. But looks like it's going to be the reverse. That's the kill. 2 members of ADU down. 2 members left though. Orphan. What are you doing? We'll be going down. Guardian Angel is actually struck. I don't think that'll actually result in anything significant though. Gets the shutdown. Only 2 members of ADU left though. But that is going to be Bob going in. Simone gets the killing spree. Oh man, this is very, very tricky. A lot of members of UC though, very, very low.
One hit from Simone will take members of UC down.
Oh no, UC has to be very careful with their position. There we go, this is going to be quite tricky. Mob actually going to the front line. Unfortunately, we should have exactly as it was before. Skarl, but here we go. Oh no, 80 is enrolled. Will go down, but that's going to be healed to save his life. But this fight is not done just yet. But gets back Skarl. ADU losing members 1 by 1. That's going to be Mob confidently going to front line. Sky able to just free hit like a pro. That's going to be 3 members of ADU down. This may potentially be the game with only 2 members left from ADU.
Wow, you see that decision making to just go for that sneaky play. Lets them do that, and they pull the trigger so perfectly. They knew Dazai was away from the team, so they just go straight into it. And this actually cost Adamson the game because they separated themselves.
And there we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, UC getting the first team.
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.